Baker has this beautiful story that he wants to share with you, lovely listeners.
I came across this short story today because I asked the AI program to write me a short story about a pigeon. And this is what it came up with. It's kind of fun. Percy the pigeon lived in a bustling city, surrounded by towering skyscrapers and endless streams of people rushing to and fro. Despite the chaos, Percy loved his home and took great pride in his ability to thrive in this concrete jungle. Every day, Percy would strut through the city streets, his iridescent tail feathers catching the sunlight and his cooing calls filling the air. He was a master of finding crumbs and seeds in the most unlikely places, and his favorite pastime was watching the humans scurry about below him. One day, as Percy was pecking at a discarded bagel, he spotted a small girl sitting on a bench crying. She had lost her balloon, and the wind was carrying it high above the city. Without hesitation, Percy took flight, soaring up, 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 until he reached the balloon. With a gentle nudge of his beak, he sent it floating back down to the girl's outstretched hands. See, he's a hero. The girl's tears turned to smiles, and she thanked Percy with a handful of seeds. From that day on, Percy was known as the hero of the city, and his legend spread far and wide. And every time he cooed, the humans would smile and remember the little pigeon who had brought joy to their busy lives. That's the story. The end.
The end. Wow. Hey.
That's a heartwarming story generated by the AI.
That's very Hallmark, man. All right. I got a dry erase board in my shop by the breeder cages, but it keeps track of if I got babies in the breeder loft or if I got babies in the racer. And I just told you about this, that I was like, man, these parlor rollers should have hatched 3 days ago, and I pulled them out and I candled them, and it was just fluid. Listen, learn. If you're marking it, if you're keeping track of it, candle them things, I don't know, 10 days in, 5 days in, something. I don't know when you can start seeing a spot.
I think they hop off of it if the egg's no good.
Mine didn't. Mine were still sitting on them. I mean, they were trying to keep them babies going.
That's because they're weird.
They are weird. That's why I should probably be fostering them. But I've had a couple that were sitting on just fluid, especially young pairs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll hop off of them and go as soon as they're ready to lay another egg. They just go over and lay another egg. And you just pitch the old ones.
Scully and Mulder just did that. They just knocked off their eggs and they were fluid, and now they're sitting in another one.
Yeah.
But the parlor rollers and the Indian fantails, both of them, and that's what made me feel like I don't need to candle it. You know, they're sitting this thing full term. But both of them were just sitting on water balloons, basically. And so, the point being that if I would have pulled them earlier, I would have got eggs earlier, would have gotten babies earlier. But instead, they're just wasting energy trying to keep duds going.
I got you. I guess I'm a bum when it comes to candling them eggs. It used to fascinate me. Now it just makes time go by so slow.
When they're sitting?
When I'm candling them. I like to be able to just go, okay, so there's eggs over there. I know when to expect them. Right. Nothing happens. They're doing something else. We incubated eggs, like full scale, lots of eggs one time. And it was insane. We were candling them and, this is so exciting. And everybody told us we had to candle them on this day and this day. Going through 300 eggs, you're pulling out, say 10%. And that was a lot of work. So it kind of turned me off on all that stuff. But we do check them from time to time.
Yeah.
You throw them out, they're going to lay faster if they haven't abandoned the bad eggs. I've had some dumb ones that they've sat on until they popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does this. They look down like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's weird because my racers, the white homers, I just think homers are just hardier, smarter word, whatever. I never had that issue, but like with the fancies, the fantails and the parlor rollers, and young birds, I guess. But it does seem like homers are a lot better about recognizing it and tossing them out.
I'm a lifelong learner. That clears me of all liability. I may not know it today, but I'll know it the next time I screw up.
You know, one of the things that when you gave me Anubis, that horseman powder,
Yeah.
one of the cool things about him was that, because remember I was having a hard time figuring out which parlor roller was a cockbird and which one was a hen. Well,
Yeah.
Being a powder like he is, man, he's always cooing and driving, and he just really got everybody fired up in this whole area. And that just clarified everything up real quick and easy for me, which ones are hens and which ones are cockbirds. So that's probably something, I got the show cages to help use them for different things, but if I'm trying to figure out the sex of a bird, I'll probably just throw that powder in the middle and get him going. And hopefully that gets everybody else going that's a cockbird as well. So that was a cool little thing I found out. I don't know. And I know that you talked about this before. We kind of did an episode on it, but people are still just like putting it out there. Hey, anybody, I'm looking to buy some birds. It's like, man, Facebook ain't the place to do that. There's pigeon shows all over the place you can go to, and you're making yourself just a target. These guys can create such good, I do the admin for another page, and it's like so hard. I'm always asking you, do you know this guy? Have you come across this guy? Is this a real person? Because their profiles look so legit, and then I wind up blocking good people who are trying to join and allowing all the bad guys in because they look more legit.
I ask for pigeons on Facebook. Every time I want one, I'll be like, hey, I would like to see how this breed does.
You're like a black belt at determining who's a scammer, though, man.
Well, yeah, but it's not that hard. A guy with two first names, a girl with two first names.
So Ricky Bobby would be a scammer.
Perhaps not, but Chris Phillip, yeah, for sure.
Both those names sound sketchy anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first red flag right there. They got two first names.
I do what you told me about copying their name and searching for posts. Search their name and look under their post if they're selling. Like, I feel like the benzene time clock is a real popular item right now that scammers are selling.
Well, like, there's all kinds of, they just go for the one that gets the most traffic on it. And they're like, oh yeah, I can, advertise this stuff and it's going to get some hits. And they're just hoping to get a little bit of money out of you, whatever, that's typically how the scammers go. They'll take a deposit and then they'll ghost you.
I like to tell them, hey, where are you? A message, because they make a post. Hey, I got these. I'm trying to rehome, or I'm downsizing my loft. And it's always like, how much? Where are you located? And they're always like, I PM'd you, PM me, message me. They'll never say anything outright. And when I PM with them, I always, no matter what they say their location is, if it's 1,000 miles away, oh man, I'm going to go there next week. I'm visiting some family. I could just go pick them up. What's your address? And that usually gets them all scuttled out.
You're giving away the secrets, Phil.
Should I not? I mean,
that's a trade secret right there, buddy. That's a way we control them. But for real, if you're an admin on any kind of freaking Facebook group page and you have a hard time figuring out who's a scammer, I mean, first of all, just pull up their name, search their name in the main Facebook page, put their name in. Usually after you've looked at their profile and you go to type it in the main page, it'll populate it there for you. So you don't even have to type it out. If it's a stupid spelling, if it's, whatever, you don't have to remember all that. It's right there. So that's super simple. So then you click on that bad boy, and then you go to posts. You click on the posts right there. There's like 3 options. Click on the posts. You can see where they're posting. If they're posting in the United Kingdom, South Africa, Australia, Ireland, Arizona, Utah, Nebraska, they probably ain't legit because they're not going to ship you anything. They're not shipping you anything from Australia. We already covered that in a few episodes prior. You know, Canada, you're not shipping it on the cheap, and you're not shipping it tomorrow. That's a bunch of BS. If they offer to send a courier, they're full of shit. But anyway, yeah. So you look under posts and you see what they've posted, and 9 times out of 10, you'll see brand new activity from a profile that's probably about a week or so old, if that. Or if it's got some age on it, it has limited posts on it. It's something that somebody has hacked from some fish from somebody, and now got control of the account.
Any other tips that you'd give? Or I mean, that's pretty good. That's the ones I do when I'm doing
Well,
it.
look in the pictures. They can't show you their loft. Like, you're like myself. My loft is in my yard, so I can walk out and go, hey, look, this is my loft. You know, this is where these pigeons came from. If somebody can't do that for you, ask questions, because a lot of the admins, they don't know or catch it until somebody gripes about it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be the first guy that's.
So how is your breeding season going right now with your rollers?
I'm the worst breeder ever.
Yeah.
I got no action.
You guys should be in the thick of it right now.
They'll get going. Have faith.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when, but I don't know what's
How many have you banded this year? We're 3 months?
I don't want to talk about it, Phil. No, we're 5 months into this year, buddy. Wow. 5 months. I want to talk about it, Phil.
Come on, how many bands, man?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Single digits or what?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really? Wow. Well, that's probably because you don't have that many pigeons, then, right?
I gotta do something. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you've only got.
I got one right here, a little baby.
I just had to reorder some bands, man. My white homers are really knocking it out of the park. I really want to get these parlor rollers to get going, but
I'm running out of bands.
Are you using those Amazon bands? Import bands? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making imports.
Boy, that is going to confuse somebody if they ever find your bird and they look at the band for help.
Hey, don't. The reason I do it is because somebody would be trying to figure that one out. They had they had a U.S. band in Australia that they thought rode over on a boat.
Nice.
They were gonna euthanize the bird. I read a story about it. I have Chinese bands.
Yeah.
That's no kidding. There's Chinese bands. I say China. It's just a number, though. That's why I use them, because they have a number on them.
What about your feed? Did you change your feed for the breeders?
No.
They're on the same thing as your flyers, or are they on the same feed they've always been on?
Same feed they always been on.
Oh, okay.
It's my super special. I got lots of birds on eggs. I got no explanation for most of it. A lot of broken eggs in there. Like they're bouncing around. There's a baby racer in there. A recessive red baby racer. Muleman.
One of the things I've been trying to do and kind of been failing at, I got some just regular old racers in my loft and in the cage here. I'm like, I'll use these for fosters. Remember, they're going to be fosters for my parlors. And I got like, okay, one of them is a fantail, one of them is a standard fantail, one of them is a Indian fantail. This racer over here is sitting on one white and one parlor roller, and I'm mixing it up a lot. But I'm like, you know what? It's like when I plant the garden, I throw seeds everywhere. I'm not trying to be like, this side is asparagus and rosemary, and when it comes up, I'll know what the plant is. So when that pigeon gets bigger and it looks like a standard fantail, I know that it's not one of the parlor rollers.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to use the homers for feeders, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not. They're awful. They're a lot more active than a roller pigeon. They bounce around. These are race birds, They're like jumpy and stuff. They're not cool in there.
Do you ever foster with your rollers? Like, I know that like some guy, like Ronald Young, like he specifically only uses Birmingham rollers to be the foster parents because they do a good job. They're not too big.
These ones are all like never been bred before. They haven't been raising babies.
And I tell you, the other day, I opened up my racer loft, and there was a big bull snake with an egg halfway in his mouth. His jaw was all opened up, trying to swallow that thing down.
Did you punch him?
I took him out of there. The pigeon went back to sitting on the egg, but
Shut up.
yeah, it was just like, yeah, it startled me. They looked like a rattlesnake, man. So it kind of freaked me out when I first opened the door. It kind of woke me
That's
up.
the thing. That's exactly what snakes do to me. They make me like, whoa, there he is. You know,
Yeah,
they don't scare me, but it's like,
yeah, they were right back to sitting on the egg again, and
well, that's a good mama because a lot of times it chase them off their nest and screw everything up.
yeah. Well, you know, it's crazy. So that obviously, that nest was on the ground, and maybe 3 feet away was another nest on the ground with 2 babies underneath. It was the cockbirders on it at the time, and they're only like 7 days old. So you know that snake could have got one of them pretty easy too.
But they're probably kicking the crap out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure that cockbird was giving him the Scooby Paps.
I've been flying the homers quite a bit.
Nice. How are they doing? How long are they staying up for?
Oh, they fly a lot. I have them out all the time. They fly all the time. They'll take off for hours.
You got a bath pan out there for them right now, being hot like it is?
No, it's not that hot. It's not going to be hot till Friday.
It was like 84 today. Mine were in and out of the bath all day. I thought about putting the because I do the permethrin dip once every 6 months. Then you hear about these guys doing the borax mule team.
Yeah.
You know, to get rid of bugs. I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I put the permethrin in there, and I could still measure it out to how many, ounces to gallons.
If you're gonna do it, just dip them.
Be easier though, man. I'm just trying to get lazy. That's all.
No, it's your. I think you can make them sick. Somebody's probably gonna.
Oh, if they drink that stuff.
Somebody listening probably gonna tell me I'm dead wrong and it'll work and whatever, but I don't think I would do it that way, and I don't think they would want to mess with it. If I was a pigeon and I smelled that nasty crap, I wouldn't want to jump in it.
It smells like kerosene. That's what it smells like.
It's weird. But I'd say, based on the smell, I'd just say, I know that you can dip them.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna give that kind of advice for these guys, but I know for sure that you can dip them. You may have opinions and theories on it, and I respect each and every one of them, but I know for sure you can dip them.
And I know that, since I dip them in the permethrin once every 6 months, and no bugs ever. The outbreak, and then the pathologist said that the bird had whatever those microscopic, like under the skin mites. I went through everything and bleached everything, but I don't see any of the bugs that chew holes in their wings and stuff like that. The permethrin definitely does get rid of all that. And I'm thinking about trying the oral solution of ivermectin, so that way it goes through their whole body, and if it is something under the skin, it would kill them. But like I said, when that happened, I went through all my lofts and I was pumping pure bleach, man. I about died from the gas in there. I was wearing a mask after that.
If I thought that I had bugs, and they come up, they happen if you don't do anything about them. If you get new birds or something like that, somebody might have them. Wild birds, if you're not in tune with that situation, the wild birds, that's a brilliant way to bring them in. I think if you're into spraying, you should be spraying before the bugs get there.
Well, you say you get new birds, and even after quarantine, if there's something so small like that and you put them in the loft, I guess it's over with.
Here in the valley, it doesn't freeze or nothing, so you get bugs all year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's an anytime thing. Poor husbandry, right conditions, whatever.
That's hard to keep out. It's not like a rat. You can't screen it out.
You spray them suckers, kill them off. Roller fly is Friday.
Your flying competition
comes out. Yeah. When this episode comes out, I will have flown. So maybe we should do a thank you speech and a
now.
Suck. kind of.
Oh man, make your
man,
predictions right now. What predict what you think you're gonna get? What's gonna happen that day?
Predict what I think I'm gonna get. If all the birds stay together and stay up in the air, they're gonna do just fine because it's scored differently. They don't all have to break at the same time. They all roll.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just timing's bad. That's my prediction. If they all stay together and they all stay up, we're gonna do real good.
What's real good? If you had to put a number on real good.
Don't know nothing about it.
So your only concern is a bird coming down early?
Yep, that's it. I got no issues.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way you can really, screw up. If he comes down, the outbird, if he comes down early or stays out, that's coming down. Same.
Yeah.
It's not really coming down. I mean, I might get corrected on that, but it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. If he's out for a minute, he's out. If he's down for a minute, he's down.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're the roller guy, man. You should be answering all this stuff here.
I'm learning every single thing. Like I said, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm gonna learn this, and one day we'll get it right. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, though. You got a pretty kid of birds. Get them up there and let them rock and roll. That'd be fun to watch. They always are.
You got good birds. It is enjoyable to watch good birds that roll, and
they're all good birds. Is it a good kit? We haven't judged them for the 11 birds, but they're all good birds.
Is this where Charlie's gonna fly again too? Okay, this isn't like the Charlie was talking about him and what Rick are gonna fly again. The two guys who got really high scores are gonna fly a second time, or is that a different fly?
That might have been because they did so good for the World Cup. Maybe they're doing a fly off or something. I wasn't in on that one. I know he said that he had to fly again because he did so well with his World Cup fly.
But we're going to be talking Green Valley Grains next week. That's going to be pretty cool. Talk with they're all about the specialty blends and stuff. So I want to hear about
Green Valley Grains. Where are they out of?
Australia.
Australia. All right. They're going to be doing it from the mill, or are they going to be doing it from the bar?
Figure that one.
I think the last guy was doing it from the bar.
That's right. Yeah, he had a hard time getting on, so he was already there for a while too.
Right. His thumbs got huge. He was trying though.
Yeah, then we got Lane Gardner's going to come on. He just came out with a book on old Dutch capuchins.
Those are a popular breed. Not a lot of breeders, but a lot of people like them.
Yeah, well, they're pretty cool looking. I think he was also, quote me on this, but didn't it, when we talked with Nate on the photography episode, didn't he say that Lane Gardner was like the photographer for the NPA? He does all their shows and books of standards. He does the photography for that. Do you remember?
I'm going to have to ask AI about that.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure.
Leave AI out of this.
Leave AI. I'm gonna start a channel. It's gonna be short stories with pigeons in it, and I'm gonna have AI do the whole thing.
Okay, we'll do a story time. We'll start every episode with a story time from Chris.
You can get a pigeon story per day. Just the things I think of.
It's scary, man.
It's all AI. I think it's all AI now.
That Percy one would have been good with Morgan Freeman's voice. That was real heart touching.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. I mean, I'll fiddle with that and get it to, we have to add another word in there. Maybe, now this is cool. Or I'll have that thing write a story based on comment requests.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, if I use your comments.
Throw some interesting adjectives out there.
Right. Write a story. I'll narrate that son of a gun.
Spicy.
Yeah. Ooh,
all right.
That'd be a fun project.
For all the listeners that are on the Facebook, there's your call to action.
What a fun project. Yeah, you give me some words to put into the thingamajigger, and I'll have him write us up a story.
And he'll do it with an Australian accent to offend a third of our audience.
It's all right, Australia. We love you too.
Just because I'm an American, I can be this ignorant, but I was like going through the countries and I'm counting them and I'm like, I never even heard of this. I never heard of this either. cool flag.
Oh, all the countries? There's a lot. There's like 100, ain't there?
Yeah, I'm talking about when you look at the analytics and stuff, and I'm like, even.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably people just laughing at us, having a great time.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, do they speak English in that many countries too?
I hope they do. I hope they can, because the translator is probably just going crazy putting on the subtitles.
Well, take us out, man.
Hey, guys, make sure to subscribe, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, our podcast. It's the All About Pigeons podcast, and it's available on partner every single format there is, because Phil has done a tremendous job of putting all that stuff up there. And you guys need to go click on your favorite platform and make it happen. And if you would click on the other ones too, that would be helpful, even more helpful. And you can support your favorite pigeon podcast that way. The world famous All About Pigeons podcast.
That's right. Cam gave us a good tagline there. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And we'll get you on the next one.